So I'm going to start from the top and then go to the bottom. First, here are all the keys that I've selected and all that I don't, right? Because we don't use them or it doesn't make any sense. And then we start with the top. I move right and so on. You know how to do that. And lean right, lean left. Fire and aim. Switch between sights. So I don't have a secondary sight here. No, I don't. Change scope magnification. You can change the color, I mean like the crosshair type, but you can also change the magnification if you have a different scope. Then free look. Then night vision. Then push to talk. I have no tab because then I can shoot and aim while I'm talking without giving any extra. Right, phrase menu. I think I set it already to B to you. This is a phrase menu. You can shortcut your key bindings, for example. Put that to F1. Now you give the signal to go forward. Hold up, freeze is the stop signal, and you can put that on F3 maybe, and then have something like hold fire on F4. So F1, F2, F3,
hold your fire,
F4. So check time and exits. I'm never using open voice command dropdown. Left shift X. I'm not doing that. You don't need to use that. It's just a time before we had VoIP. So then that was the only way to communicate. Alright, check time and exits. I only have that selected. That way you know where your exits are. Alright, toggle tactical device. Tactical device is anything that you have on your gun. Like here, there's a flashlight. So, switch tactical device mode. Left control space. I would also set that in GarageBand that way. So now I switched it. Now it has a laser and a flashlight. Now I'm switching it to the laser. I'm switching it to flashlight only. Laser and flashlight. Laser, flashlight. interact. Mouse button. Right. You're pushing that button when you want to look into this, when you have a queue like that. Next one. Next magazine. So I have it on tab R. The thing is, actually I overtook some. So prepare grenade. I have it on left control and left mouse button. And now I press the left mouse button to throw it. I can even hold it, but I cannot cock it. So it will always, the pin will go out always at the same time when I throw it. I want you to be able to switch between different grenades. So right now, if you prepare a grenade, it is going to select a smoke grenade. Well, when you prepare another grenade, after you have selected a grenade, it will switch in between grenades, but it takes a lot of time, especially when you have a lot of grenades. So right now I toggled to the frag grenade, and now I want to switch to the flashbang, to the smoke grenade. So I have shortcutted it to left shift and 2. That is my slot number 5, left shift and 2. Right, so I don't need to go that far away from all the other buttons. Left shift and 2. It is going to select my smoke grenade, and then I can throw it. Right, so I can immediately switch to the grenade that I want. Next setting. So we have next previous reload weapon. So reloading weapon means you're slowly reloading a weapon, and you try to take the magazine back into your rig. So I have it on left shift and R. Just reloading my one, and it's putting it back in the rig. You always need to have 2 free slots for that, otherwise it will drop it on the ground. Again. Alright, next key. Emergency weapon reload. I have it just on R. Right, so as you can see right now, I'm reloading, drops it on the ground, and it's gone. I can do that again, and they have been dropped to the ground. Now I need to pick them up again when I did this mistake. Right, next one. Right, you don't really need the drop backpack thing, because that is something that is usually required for more time. Right? Most of the time we don't drop it, we just discard it through the menu. So, for example, you drop the menu like this with the discard button. Right? There's a shortcut for it, but it's more something that people do that constantly drop heavy backpacks. So discard button is here. Right? You just hover over it and then it drops it. Next one. Alright, next magazine. So in case I have different magazines with different ammunition or different color, or they are not full, I can tag it, for example. And now I can reload exactly that half empty magazine. I press Tab R, which allows me to cycle through those. Then I have it selected, and then I press either R or Shift R, depending on whether I want to make an emergency reload or a retained reload, a slow one. And I have exactly the one that I wanted. So, check ammo, left control and R. On the bottom right you see how much ammo is in there, what kind of caliber and what type of ammunition. Switch fire mode, left control F. Burst, full auto, single fire. Check fire mode, so you don't make any noise. You're just looking up, Shift T. Check chamber, fix malfunction. Unload chamber. We will do that later when we do the stress test. Detach magazine. Sometimes it's useful to detach the magazine. I have it on left Alt and R. Now I have only one round in the chamber. Alright, prone, sprint, crouch. As I just said it to you, it will be no problem. You can also change your pose by holding the C button, and now you use the scroll wheel up and down. That way you can look over look over certain obstacles. Okay. Walk, left Alt. So if you look on the bottom left, you see the screen with my current speed. When I press the left Alt button, and I can just sit, I'm to 0 speed, so the minimum. And now I'm to whatever I said before, which is the maximum. Now I can change it to this speed, and I press the left Alt button, and I'll press it again. It's back to the previous speed, switching it back and forth. Alright, overhead blind fire. Left control S. If I want to shoot over something, I can use this. Right side blind fire. Left control A. Of course you cannot set those. You need to look up how I set it on my keyboard and my German keyboard, because then it would not make that much sense, of course. Right, so left control A, which is the key where I'm going sideways. Right, always when I'm coming up to some cover like this, I can shoot past it. Right, sidestep right and sidestep left. D and Q. Left control and D for sidestep right, and Shift Q, Shift A. No, that's actually not working. Sidestep left is left Alt and Q. Alright, on the left side you usually don't want to do that. It's rarely used, but the sidestep to the right might be something you want to do. And inspect current weapon. You don't really need to do the unfold and fold stock. Let me show you what it does, just to make it complete. Yeah, I cannot fold or unfold this gun, so it doesn't matter. It just saves a little time, but it gives you, it's complicated to learn something more. I would not recommend you doing this right now. Right, so now, next one. Toggle inventory. Well, that's just like this. The V button I use to jump, right? Because it's not something we do a lot. The melee weapon I have switched to 5. Right. Melee attack, mouse wheel down, that means the middle mouse button. So if I'm in my gun and I'm pressing the middle mouse button, it's going to attack one single time and then it switches back automatically. Controls. So weapon on sling, weapon on back. 1 and 2. Weapon on sling, weapon on back. 1 for weapon on sling. Now 2 for weapon on back. And now back again. So 4, 5 and so on. You can shortcut them. It's better to use a combination because then you don't need to go all around your keyboard to select 10 slots. Yeah, scope elevation up and down, that's when you aim down a sight. Here for example, it doesn't have really an iron sight, no it doesn't. But you can do it with, not with the pistol, but with this one you can. 50 meters on the bottom right, 100 meters on the bottom right, okay? Page up, page down. You don't do that a lot. Discard, we had that already. Hold breath, T. If you want to aim correctly, you need to hold your breath. So if you're aiming, as you can see, now it's aligning the sight. Now I release it. Now I'm pressing the T button again. Releasing, right? That way I can aim more accurately. Right. So let's go to the fix a malfunction. I have a malfunction now. I examine it. I'm just showing you, okay? You don't have to do that to fix the malfunction. You have the malfunction, you then press left Alt and F, which is examining the weapon, which is where is it? Inspect current weapon here. Left Alt and F. Now the player knows what's going on. Right, so do it again. Bolt jammed. Now I need to fix that malfunction. I can do that with check chamber fix malfunction. Left Alt and T. Now I can fire again.